How's it going, lads? So, I roll out of bed this morning and I'm pretty much being bombarded by messages from the lads, push notifications from Chelsea.com, tweets, whatever, all saying the same thing that Lampard has been given the sack. And I just want to start off by saying that I couldn't disagree more with this. It makes me think back to yesterday, the game against Luton. Clearly, that didn't matter one bit. We could have smashed them 10-0, could have gotten smashed by them 10-0. The board had clearly already made their mind up. But it's not just making me look back on that game, it's making me look back on last season as well, because there wasn't a whole lot of managers available, especially managers who would want to take on a team who's just been slapped with a transfer ban, who's just lost their star player in Eden Hazard. So he brought in Lampard and he was pretty much put in a position where he was meant to fail, and he didn't fail. He got us top four, which was much better than I think anyone was expecting. He brought in the likes of Tammy Abraham and Mason Mount, and they've gone on to be first team regulars. They're playing fantastic football. And so he was given the job, because how could you not? But I still think the intention was never to keep him, because we went on a fantastic 17 game unbeaten run, and then as soon as things go a bit tits up, he's gone. We were top of the table. We just beaten Leeds. We were unbeaten in 17 games, like I just said. Then we lose against Everton, and then the next 5 or 6 games go a bit wrong as well. We lose against pretty much all the big teams we play against, and he's gone. you know? And I read the official club statement. It said something along the lines of, oh, we've the utmost respect for Lampard. We really appreciate what he's done so far, but with the club sitting in mid-table, that's just not good enough, blah, blah, blah. I mean, yes, technically, if you look at the standings, we're in mid-table. But I mean, we're like 3 points behind Tottenham or whoever it is in fifth. We're, I think, 4 or 5 points behind Liverpool in fourth. I mean, all it takes is 2 or 3 runs of 2 or 3 good games in a row, and boom, we're right back in it. Okay, we're something like 11 points off the title, so maybe looking at that would be unrealistic no matter who we bring in. But still, top four was still there, and with the amount of players we've brought in, I still think giving them time to feel their way into the league, top four should have been the goal for this season. Give them lads time to settle, just make sure we've Champions League football next year. And yes, like I said, right now, if you look at the standings, it doesn't look like we're on track for that. But based on the points tallies, we absolutely are. And Thomas Tuchel is looking like the one who's going to come in. And if he comes in and we get fourth place, everyone's going to talk about what a fantastic decision it was to get rid of Lampard and how he's an amazing manager. He'll be an amazing manager for me if he wins us the title, coming back from those 11 points. Getting top four, that was still always going to be an option for us. So I definitely won't be singing his praises too much if that's all he achieves. Now, the one thing a lot of people point to is the fact that Lampard doesn't seem to have a game plan. And I mean, yes, it is a little bit evident in games that he's just kind of put out a team in a formation and told them to play. I think at the start of the season, Lampard brought in the big boys like Kai and Werner and Ziyech. And in his head, they were all just going to slot perfectly into the team. But then, injuries hit. Ziyech missed the first 4 or 5 games of the season. Havertz also suffered from the virus. That kept him out. But most importantly, it's the fact that Werner and Havertz just haven't settled into the Premier League yet. And, that stuff takes time, especially coming from the Bundesliga, where it's not as physical, where you get a lot more time on the ball to play football or running behind. I think everyone, not just Lampard, forgot that players need time for the most part to settle into the league, and that's just taking quite a bit of time for those 2 German boys. But it seems to have derailed Lampard a bit. Like I said, he had a plan at the beginning, things messed it up a bit, and he hasn't quite been able to settle since. I did mention we went on a 17 game unbeaten run, but there was very few games in that run where we looked like a strong team. The performances were fairly inconsistent. We were beating teams, but not really coming out of third gear to beat them. And you're always going to get caught out by that eventually. And sure enough, we did. We lost to Everton. That rocked us a bit. And then there was the defeats to Arsenal, Man City, Leicester. I think 1 or 2 others in there as well. Not exactly ideal. But Lampard should, at the very least, have been given the end of this season. You know, he's already guaranteed us the round of 16 in the Champions League. At the very, very least, he should have been allowed to take on Atletico Madrid, see how he gets on there. But more than that, I think he should have been given the season, been given the entire year to see what he can do with Werner and Havertz, see if he can get them playing better football, see if he can get them playing with a bit more confidence. And then we could have gone into next season with proper aspirations. But no, first chance they've gotten, the board has just sniped, gotten rid of him. Like I said, I think that it was always their plan. They were just looking for half an excuse to do it. I don't agree with this. Lampard is a club legend. He should have been treated with a bit more respect than that. They said we have the utmost respect for him. Not exactly seeing it here. Everyone knows that Abramovich and Lampard have a close personal relationship. So that's kind of surprised me. I thought that would buy him a bit more time. Evidently not. Okay, I kind of giving Tuchel a bit of slack there a few minutes ago. I don't hate Tuchel. I have nothing against Tuchel. I just really like Lampard. But Tuchel's going to come in. Hopefully, he can steady the ship a bit. Get our big players playing sexier football. Get them playing with a bit of confidence is probably the best word for it, because that's clearly something lacking in the team. So yeah, I'm not pessimistic about our future. I'm not optimistic about it either, because right now I'm just a bit bummed out that Lampard has just been dumped out so unceremoniously. But yeah, there's the update, lads. Comment below whether you're a Chelsea fan or a fan of another team. Do you think now was the right time to sack him? Do you think he should have been sacked earlier? Do you think he should have been given a bit longer? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more footy chats, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next video.